Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Legal B. Today, we are discussing a very important and often misunderstood law, the SARFAESI Act, and how it gives banks the power to recover loans without even going to the court. Yes, you heard that right, without court intervention. If you're preparing for IBPS SO Law Officer exam or the SEBI Grade A Legal Officer exam or the RBI Grade B Legal Officer exam, or any exam involving banking laws, this is something that you must understand. So let's begin. To understand as to why SARFAESI Act was introduced, let's go back a bit. Before SARFAESI Act came into force in 2002, banks had very limited options to, recover the loans. Right? If someone defaulted on a loan, banks either had to go to the civil court, right, or file uh, a case in the DRT, which is the Debt Recovery Tribunal, and wait months or years for orders. And as a result of this, the non performing assets, the NPAs, were rising and the recovery was painfully slow. So, to give banks more teeth, especially when secured loans are involved, the government basically brought in the SARFAESI Act, right, which is short for the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act of 2002. The goal behind enforcing this act was to allow banks and financial institutions to recover their money faster without lengthy litigation when there is a secured asset which is involved. Now, SARFAESI only applies to secured assets, right? It only applies to a secured asset. Let's simplify that. Imagine you take a home loan and your house is kept as a security or collateral, right? So that house becomes a secured asset. Now, if you stop repaying the loan for 90 days, the account becomes an NPA. That means your account becomes a non performing asset. In such cases, SARFAESI basically empowers the banks to take control of that secured asset without the permission from the court and recover their dues. This does not apply to unsecured loans like personal loans, which has no collateral, right? Or agricultural land or loans which are below 1 lakh rupees, right? Now, who gets to use SARFAESI, right? So the idea is that secured creditors, right, mainly the banks, the NBFCs, as well as the other financial institutions that are registered with the RBI, then these are called secured creditor, right? And secured creditors are basically the ones who gets to use SARFAESI, right? So they must also be holding a security interest over the borrower's asset. For example, it could be a mortgage, it could be a hypothecation, it could be a pledge, right? So think of a secured creditor as someone who has a legal right to recover money by selling your asset if you default in the payment of or in the repayment of that money, right? So now, what can banks do under SARFAESI Act? Now, this is a powerful sort of part. Under Section 13 of SARFAESI Act, right, the idea is uh, once the borrower becomes a defaulter and the account is classified as a non-performing asset, banks basically uh, issue a 60 days notice, right? The banks basically issues a 60-day notice to the borrower asking them to repay. If the borrower does not sort of repay the amount, uh, then without the approval from the court, the bank can either take possession of your secured asset like your home or office, right? Take over the management of the borrower's business, right? Appoint a manager to run the business, or even sell or lease the asset to recover the dues. Now, all this happens outside the courtroom. For doing this, the bank does not require a prior permission from the court, right? Now you may ask, what if the borrower disagree? Right? What if the borrower disagrees to repay? Right? Well, the borrower in that case can basically appeal to a debt recovery tribunal, right? DRT, right? You can appeal to the DRT under section 17 of the SARFAESI Act. But here's the catch: the borrower is basically required to deposit 50% of the amount claimed just to appeal. So this basically discourages casual objections and ensures that there is a faster resolution. So the DRT is basically like a safeguard rather than a starting point, right? Now let's take a real life example. Suppose someone took 50 lakh rupees business loan from a public sector bank, offering their factory building as mortgage, right? Now they stop paying EMIs for 4 months. So the loan turns into an NPA, non performing asset, right? Then the bank will issue a 60 days notice. Let's say you do not give any response. Next, under SARFAESI, the bank will send officers. The bank can send the officers to physically take possession of the factory. They can paste a notice on the gate and list it for auction. And within a few weeks, the property can also be sold, right? And then these are the ways in which the bank recovers the pending loan amount without any civil court order or any prior permission from any judicial authority, for that matter of fact. Now let's bust a common myth. People think that SARFAESI Act is only about auction, right? But no, auction is just one part. Banks basically can take symbolic possession, right? They can appoint management. They can even sort of restructure loans via asset restructuring companies. They are called ARCs, right? So SARFAESI is basically much more than just selling someone's house. It is basically a holistic recovery framework, right? Let's quickly sum it up. SARFAESI was basically introduced to give banks more power to recover secured loans. It applies only when the loan becomes an NPA, right? Banks can act without court intervention, so you do not require court's intervention, right? Under section 13, DRT handles the basically the appeals of the borrowers, right? The grievances as well as the appeals, right? Provided that the person making such appeal has already deposited 50% of the due amount. So it basically also helps in recovery of loans faster and sort of reduce the non performing assets while also maintaining fairness, right? Now, if you find this video helpful, there is a lot more where that came from. In our full iExamB course, we cover SARFAESI, NI Act, Banking Regulation Act, RBI guidelines, DRT Act, and more, all mapped to the exact level of the exam. Plus, you get mock tests and real exam level mock tests, which are sort of curated at real exam level. Bpedia, which is covering general awareness, where the content is made by the expert faculty members themselves, one-on-one sessions with the expert faculty. So whether you are preparing for IBPS, SO, SEBI legal, or RBI Grade B legal officer, we have got you covered. You can download our app for full course access, where you will have pre-recorded lectures and access to various mock tests, study notes, which are both detailed as well as summary sheets. Moreover, you will have access to live discussion sessions with the concerned subject matter experts, daily quizzes, as well as daily current affairs. If you found this video helpful, like the video, subscribe to LegalBee, drop your questions in the comments below. I personally reply to each one of them, and check out the link in the description to explore the full course. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.